When the Polynesian Maoris reached New Zealand about 1,000 years ago, they called these islands the land of the long white cloud, and here's why. The crests of many mountain ranges are graced by flying carpets of rolling clouds. Today, this scenic country is known by the name Dutch mariners gave it centuries later, before the British took it over and anglicized it. New Zealand is mainly an urban, western, no longer a Pacific Polynesian society. This is Auckland, its largest city, where between a quarter and a third of all New Zealanders live. New Zealand was formed where two of the Earth's great tectonic plates collide, and Auckland was built on the slopes of dozens of dormant volcanoes, large and small. This is One Tree Hill, where the Maoris had a village. Now it's occupied by a 70-foot-high obelisk, honoring Sir John Logan Campbell, the founder of Auckland. Auckland not only lies on an island, New Zealand's North Island, but on a broken peninsula of that island, with ports on the Pacific and the Tasman Sea side. The central business district adjoins Waitemata Harbor on the Pacific side. Ferries link the various suburbs of this far-flung city, where land and water are interwoven. This is the most efficient way to commute between peninsula and city. Queen Street, the main downtown artery, leads from Waitemata Harbor's waterfront through the center of town. This is prosperous Auckland at its most British. Department stores, specialty shops, and banks flank its busy sidewalks. But Auckland also is the Pacific's biggest Polynesian city, with large Maori, Tongan, and other minority neighborhoods. About 10% of New Zealand's over 3 million people are of Maori ancestry, and many more claim some Maori heritage. Economically, these Maori, as these streets suggest, have not done as well as their European neighbors. Look again at this city and its volcanic setting. Maoris claim that many prominent and favorable sites here were Maori settlements, some holy and ancestral, when the Europeans invaded their islands. They've identified many of these maraes, as they are called, and are making legal challenges to reclaim them or to gain compensation. Farther north on the Northland Peninsula lies a town that has an historic and fateful name, Waitangi, Wailing Waters. Near this town stands the Waitangi Treaty House. Here the Maoris signed the 1840 treaty by which the British assumed sovereignty over New Zealand. The Maoris were given guarantees they now say were violated in the aftermath. Every year, the treaty signing is commemorated by political and civic leaders in this garden near the Treaty House. But in 1994, the ceremony was disrupted by Maori protests and could not be completed. It was a sign of New Zealand's growing ethnic tensions, although its government, by world standards, has worked quite hard to overcome inevitable divisions. In truth, much of Maori culture is now consigned to museums. In the Maori house at Waitangi, you can see an example of the Maoris' magnificent 100-foot canoes, rowed by as many as 200 men and much admired by the European mariners who first saw them. In the War Memorial Museum back in Auckland, fading pictures tell part of the Maori story and show what their traditional dwellings and other buildings looked like. The Maoris reached these islands 1,000 years ago, but today New Zealand is part of the Australian realm, a Pacific outlier of Western cultural geography.